But I'm gonna talk about some stuff today. I want to talk about like 4 or 5 things that I was reflecting on today that's really helped my life. When I lost the NFL, I built rehab time with God's help, of course, and with you guys' help from rock bottom. Like I'm in an industry where there's people that don't look like me. You know what I'm saying? So like I want to tell you that the only impossibilities that exist are the ones you create. Some of you right now, you have a gift, you have a talent, you have a goal, you have something that you want to do, but you're sitting there like sitting on it. Like you're gonna die with your dreams because you're so afraid to fail. Let me tell you something. The road to success is filled with a lot of failure. That's what it's filled with. Growth, there's no growth without growing pain. So I want you to understand that. Like, go shoot. Go shoot. The only strikeout in life is not stepping up to the plate. Like, go shoot away. You'll miss 100% of the shots that you never take. So go shoot away, man. And who cares what people say? Like, people gonna talk regardless. There's people that's not gonna like you regardless. There's people gonna laugh at your dreams. People's gonna laugh at your visions. People gonna tell you it's impossible. Who cares? Your greatness ain't got nothing to do with them. Please share this right now because somebody needs to hear it. Your vision ain't got nothing to do with them. You know how many people told me that I was crazy to think that I could do something with my life? You know how many people told me that? You know how many people told me, Trent, you're crazy, like nothing's ever gonna, like, but I never listened to them. I listened to what God put in my heart. So I want you to understand that. And some of you right now, you're counting yourself out. You're believing your impossibilities. You're believing your limitations. You're believing your past. You're believing your trauma. You're believing all of that stuff. I want you to focus on the wrong reason why you got to, why you have to. Because I refuse to live this earth incomplete. And I'm not saying it's easy. I know I'm talking like it is. It's hard. It's hard, but you got to choose your heart. Because selling for less is hard. Let's be real. It's hard. Accepting less is hard. You know, not living your full life is hard. So what heart are you going to choose? So I wanted to share that real quick with you guys, man. So, and I want you to write these things down. I really want you to listen to these things. Like, seriously. People ask me all the time, like, Trent, how did you get where you're at? And there's people on here that know my journey. They know it was nothing special except me putting in the work and me having faith and me having hope for the last decade, right? Me just controlling what I can control for the last decade. And I want to tell you a few things. Number one, this is a thing that I tell my son, I tell myself, I'll tell you. Everybody, and this is I'm going to spend a lot of time on this, but everybody that's riding with you might not be riding for you. And that's a problem because we expect the people, please listen to me, guys. I'm about to get fired up. I can't talk too long. I want to wake the neighbors up. But understand this. So many of us right now, we're dependent on people, right, to support us. Now, I just want to tell you this. And yes, sometimes the people closest to you will support you the most, like hands down, right? If you have people like that in your life, appreciate those people. But I'm going to be real with you. Sometimes the people closest to you will support you the least. And what it does is it takes away from your confidence. You think if the people closest to me don't see my vision, then my vision must not be valuable. You think that the people close to me don't see my greatness, then I don't have greatness inside of me. That's not the truth. You have to understand this fact. Familiarity breeds, it breeds, what's the word I'm looking for? It makes things normal to people, right? The more familiar you are with something, you become desensitized to it. There you go. Right? Think about it. The more you're around something, you become desensitized. So you have to understand this. There's people that's been around you your whole entire life that they're desensitized to your gifts. They'll put your gifts, put your talents, put your vision in a box. They don't think greatness can be that close to them. Some people are just too close to see your greatness. So don't allow people close to you calling you stupid or saying you're crazy or saying you can't do it, talk you out of what's meant for your life. Some of us, we're living a life that's not meant for us because we allowed other people's opinions to put us on that path. We allowed other people's suggestions to put us on that path. And you're not living the life that you were created to be. So realize everybody that's riding for you everybody's riding for you might not be riding with you. It's just life. If you want to find jealousy, you don't have to look for it sometimes, all right? Number two, I want you to understand this fact is that some people can stay in your heart, but not in your life. What does that mean? Sometimes you have to learn how to love people from a distance. And that's just true. I don't want to just spend this whole time talking about removing people from your life and all these things. But some of us, we're keeping the things that are holding us back, whether it's people or our habits in our life. And it's holding us back. It's draining us. It's making us feel insecure. It's making us have low self-esteem. And we're keeping these things in our life. Like literally, my life progressed when I let go of the things that I need to let go of. I promise you, it wasn't no magic change. When I started to get away from the things that didn't serve me, when I started to get away from the things that weren't in line with my values and my morals and my principles, my life changed. When I let go of the habits that were holding my life back, my life changed. So you have to understand that sometimes you got to love people from a distance. And I know it's hard, but you have to realize this fact. Some people cannot stay in your life, but they can stay in your heart, right? Number three, The third thing I want to understand is I want to shift gears for you right quick. And this is not for everybody, okay? So none of y'all get offended. But this is for the people on here that complain about their 9 to 5. This is for the people on here that's always saying next time, next year. This is for the people on here that always start something, never finish nothing because you don't have no patience. Let me tell you something. You have a choice. In this world, you're going to work hard. My grandfather told me this. I believe it's my grandfather or my dad, one of them. They told me this, and I would never forget this. You're going to work hard at something, so you might as well work hard at what you love. Some people are going to spend their whole entire life working hard at building someone else's dreams, and that's okay. That's okay. If that's what you want for your life, that's okay. But if you're a person that's complaining about your 9 to 5, if you're a person that's complaining about your boss, if you're a person that's complaining that you don't have this or you have that, I want you to look in the mirror and tell yourself these 5 words that I told myself. It all starts with you. It all starts with you. If you don't like your situation, but you're choosing to stay in your situation and accept your situation, please don't complain about your situation. You have a choice. You can work hard at building someone else's dreams, or you can work hard at building your own. That's what life is about. So you have that choice. You have that option. And I know it's not easy, but if you're a person that's like, man, I hate my 9 to 5. I feel like I'm in a prison, or I hate my circumstance, I hate my situations, but you're spending more time on the things that don't move you forward, then you really ain't sick and tired. Let's be honest. If you're not spending no time on doing things that you want to do with your life that you feel like over time can help you, if you're not spending time building your own business, you're not spending time using your talents and your gifts in your spare time that you do have, then you can't be serious about it. You can't be serious about it. Nobody gave me a handout, by the way. Nobody gave me a platform. I built it brick by brick, video by video, tag by tag, comment by comment, city by city. I could have found a million excuses, a million, why I wasn't supposed to be who I was. Wasn't nobody showing at my events? 6,000 people on the live? Yeah, right. More like 6. I could have quit then. I could have threw in the towel. But you know, when you're serious about making it happen with your life, when you're serious about taking your life to the next level, you don't even bring a towel to throw in. And I had a promise, I had a commitment in my heart to my best friend that committed suicide. So it was big for me. See, this ain't no like popularity thing for me. This ain't even no business for me, to be honest with you. I got to operate it as a business because it has to survive where it's at. But this is a purpose for me. This is a mission for me. I'm on a mission to help lives. And so when people didn't show up, when people wasn't liking my stuff, when people told me that I would be nothing at the NFL, when I told myself that, I kept on pushing, I kept on going. Because I know the journey would bring my life, right? Once I took the first step, what happens if you aren't able to figure out what you want to do with your life? Ask yourself this question, great question, as these big trucks drive outside. Ask yourself this question, okay? If you don't know what you want to do with your life, ask yourself the things that you're passionate about, right? And you got to have some type of passion. A lot of times we know what we want to do with our life, but we don't think it's sexy enough to be respected, right? There was a time where I didn't think being a motivational speaker and all this stuff was sexy enough. I didn't grow up saying I wanted to be a speaker. Like, that's not what we grew up wanting to do. But I would ask yourself this question, like, what are the things that you truly care about? Like, what are the things that you truly care about? What are the things that get your blood boiling? Like, what are the things that you're passionate about, that you truly care about? Think about it. It can be coaching kids. It can be whatever. Think about the things you truly care about, because the things that you're passionate about in a positive way, that is leading you towards something. And I'll tell you right now, oftentimes what you think you want to do is sometimes not what you're created to do, but that thing will lead you to what you're created to do. So when I ask yourself, if you were the only, this is the question I ask myself, if I was the only person in this world, what would I do? Like, what am I passionate about? What lights me up? What makes me angry? What makes me inspired? And I went and did it. And what lighted me up was my best friend committed suicide. And I said, you know what? I want to help people with their self-worth. That wasn't a sexy thing. I didn't have no following, but I did it. A lot of us, we talk ourselves out of what we're supposed to do because of that. All right, so I wanted to share that. One more thing I wanted to share before I get off of here. And last but not least, I'll leave y'all with this, man. I said this quote years ago, and it still rings true. God will allow you to go through places you don't understand just to bring you to the place where he needs you to be. Like, straight up. I cannot explain how I got here necessarily. You know, I can look back and say, oh, okay, this had to happen, but I would have never predicted this, or I could have never planned this life that I'm living now. And I just feel like God allows you to go through seasons of your life for reasons that you can't even fathom. And now I understand, as I move forward, as I get older and get wiser, I now understand why I went through certain seasons. It wasn't just for me. It was for me to use those seasons to also help other people. You know, your purpose isn't for you. Your pain isn't just for you. We go through hard times, not just for ourselves, but to help others get through those hard times. And so every time I speak, every time that I coach, every time that I mentor, every time that I do whatever, when it comes to this, it makes me realize, like, dang, I had to go through that. God would allow you to go through places you don't understand just to bring you to the place where he needs you to be. Always hold on to those words and never quit on yourself. Never think your life is over because something is over. Never lose yourself because you lose them. You know, so many times as people, we lose something, then we lose ourselves. We disqualify ourselves. We put a period to the end of our life sentence when it should just be a semicolon. And we live a life depressed. We live a life unfulfilled. We live a life unhappy because we always think the best days are in our past. We always think the best days are, you know, last year, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and nothing will ever change. And we stay there instead of saying, you know what, that was a chapter. Let me do something today to turn the page and create better chapters in my life. So I just wanted to share that with y'all tonight, man. I just want to speak my heart. And yeah, I appreciate you all for these last crazy 11 years, man. It's been 11 years since we started Rehab Time. For your support, for your encouragement, for your words. Let's get it.